Most men don't lose women because they're bad men. They lose women because they're trying too hard to be good. And there's a difference. I'm Coach Giuseppe Nasti, and my mission is simple: help you become the man. One of the biggest lies modern society, modern men have been taught is this: if you're kind enough, she'll stay. So you become more available, more always there, more understanding, more forgiving, more accommodating. You say yes when you mean no. You ignore disrespect. You stop seeing your friends. Does this sound familiar? One more. You sacrifice your goals. You believe that's what love looks like. Then one day she says, I'm done with you. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. And you're left wondering, what else could I have done? The painful answer is probably less. Less is more. Today, I want to introduce a framework I call the self respect line. Every decision you make either stays above the line or falls below it. Above the line, you act according to your values. Below the line, you act according to your fears. And fear is one favorite disguise: approval. Don't seek approval. Let's look at what happens below the line. You don't speak up because you're afraid she'll leave you. You text first every single time because you're afraid she'll forget you. You cancel your plans because you don't want to disappoint her. You apologize just to end an argument, even when you know you're right. Every one of these decisions feels small, but together they slowly erase your identity. You stop becoming a partner, you become a people pleaser. And that's not attractive. This is why the validation trap is so dangerous. Once your self worth depends on someone else, you will always choose comfort over character. You'll protect the relationship while destroying the man inside it. Something similar just happened in Italian soccer. Maldini and Leonardo assumed they were given full authority on which coach to choose to lead the national team. And suddenly, for a few issues, political issues, the coach that they wanted has been rejected by the president. And that showed them that they were not trusted. And for that reason, they left only after having that position for 11 days. And that's a sticking to your values. But don't make me lose my train of thought. And let me go back to the video. You protect the relationship while destroying the man inside it. Now, let's look above the self respect line. You communicate honestly, you keep your standards, you make time for your purpose, you say no when something violates your values, you remain calm during conflict, you don't chase someone who's walking away. Not because you're trying to look strong, but because you've decided your identity is not negotiable. Is the interesting part. Living above the self respect line doesn't guarantee someone will stay, but living below it will almost guarantee you lose yourself. And once you lost yourself, the relationship is already broken. Think about it for every man that people naturally respect, whether it's a great father, a business owner, an entrepreneur, a coach, a soccer player, or someone you admire personally. None of them built their life by asking, what do people want from me? They asked, what kind of man do I refuse to stop becoming? That's a completely different question. This applies far beyond dating. Imagine you're building a business, right? A difficult client demands something unreasonable. If you're below the self respect line, personally, you agree because you're afraid of losing the sale. If you are above it, you politely refuse. Maybe you will lose their customers, but you will protect your standards, your values, your identity. And ironically, those standards are exactly what attracts better customers over time. I can guarantee you that 100%. The gym teaches the same lesson. Some men train only when they're motivated. Some men train every other day, even when they're not, because that's part of who they are. One depends on feelings, the motivation, the other one depends on identity. Identity will always win the long run. And here's the usual exercise. Draw a line on a piece of paper, do it physically. Write above on one side and write below on the other side. Then think about the last week. Last week, every decision you made, place it to one side of that line. The conversations you avoided, the promises you kept, the workout you skipped, the boundary you enforced. Don't judge yourself. Just look honestly, because patterns reveal identity, and identity determines your future. Take a minute and write below what's one area of your life where you've been living below your self respect line. Share it with me. Relationships, work, fitness, family. These are just some ideas for you to think about. Write it down. Today is the day you move back above that line. And remember this, being a good man isn't about making everyone happy, it's about refusing to betray your own character. Kindness without boundaries becomes weakness, and love without self respect becomes dependence. Confidence without integrity becomes arrogance. Self respect creates all three in the right order, because the strongest men don't ask how do I keep people in my life. They ask, how do I become a man worth building a life around? And that's the mission. Become the man. If you haven't watched my latest video on the respect ladder, please go and watch it. Because self respect is the foundation of respect from everyone else. It's right here on the screen. Ciao for now, and please believe in yourself because I believe in you.